It.
Welcome to the Snobs podcast.
It's empty, Gale.
Every time he goes to that table, I love it. I will never not play that on the video. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, you gotta go watch Dan fall through a table. Welcome everybody to the Snobs podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by the one, the only producer, Paul. That's right, producer Paul's here. We gave him that name a long time ago, and it's stuck. Other people may try to take it, but fuck them.
Yeah. Yes.
That's where I'm at. So
we chose war this morning.
No. Well, listen. Do you want to get into a posting war? Because it seems to be all the trend amongst the most sane of adult human males among this right now. Let's have a social media war. I will tell you, back in the day, Casey and I used to do this thing called selfie war.
Selfie, oh god.
It was either selfie or GIF war. Selfie war was always the fun one. And what we would do is we would do it for mystery elephants. So we would do it on the Facebook page there and then on the Twitter or whatever, different places, different times. And like you would take ridiculous selfies of yourself, like kind of like trying to offend the person you're like calling out. In a way, not like super offensive, but not like telling the world that your boss is on the Epstein list. Not that type of stuff,
Right.
But but we would just have fun. So but people would get in it and they would love it. So it would go on for hours, all day long. Sometimes people constant stuff, and people would be like, "This was fun, man. This was a good time." Afterwards, it's not fun. Harsh words from a president, harsh words from a billionaire. I want to hear the harsh words from a woman. I want to hear what she has to say. Enough of the men. I'm trying to make Paul feel as uncomfortable as possible.
I'll start filming all my coworkers because I got quite a few females and they vent all the time, respectfully, and they're hilarious. I'm start posting that.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I just hype them up.
I don't want to silence women's voices, but I want to hush up two grown man children with tantrums. You brought it up. You shouldn't have brought up the internet.
Sorry.
Should have brought up the internet. I wasn't even thinking about that. That wasn't even the topic tonight, although it should be. It is one of those very bad performances in what seems to be the greatest reality show called America right now. Now I'm on a tangent. This is your fault.
You're welcome.
You brought
I gotta get you there.
You had
every time I gotta.
All you had to do is mention the internet. That's all you had to do, and there it is. And then I went off on the tangent.
I'm the dog next door, just losing his mind, just barking like crazy, just getting you revved up for.
Listen,
yeah.
Shut up, dog. And throw tennis balls at you. You keep playing fetch with me. It's like, come on, I'm trying to tell you, go away. My trauma. Welcome to the Snobs podcast, everybody. We're gonna take it to insane places, absurd places sometimes, and we're gonna sometimes just be here with us.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about a bunch of fun stuff tonight. I do want to talk to you about the new Nathan Fielder season of The Rehearsal. I've been watching it, and it's it's controversial in a great way.
Okay.
But it's true absurdism, but I'll get into that and more. Guys, as always, we're going to start off with our wonderful reviews. We were supposed to do Ballerina tonight. Neither of us had a chance to fully see it to review it. So, unfortunately, we're going to review that one next week. But there's no shortage of movies to check out this week. And The Life of Chuck is our first one that is up. New Mike Flanagan, Stephen King, based on the Stephen King short story, The Life of Chuck, starring the great Tom Hiddleston. Karen Gillian's in this movie. Chiwetel Ejiofor's in this movie. Mark Hamill is in this movie. I can't remember. Jake and Tremblay, I think, is the kid in this movie. He's much older now than he was in like Good Boys, or when he was at like the height of his. Like he was. There was a set of like 5 years where that kid was in every movie, and he played the kid in every single movie. So I hadn't seen him in a while, but he stars in this movie as the young Chuck, who is Tom Hiddleston's character in the movie. Now, this is an existential movie. I like existential movies. I've never had a problem with them. They're overly sentimental at times. They're always trying to send this message of something that's a little bit more bigger than ourselves, whether it's godly or godlike in nature. It could be just like a universe. These movies come out every once in a while, and they always like sort of intertwine in some way, in my opinion, an air of mystery of the characters of what's going on. Now, Chuck is at the center of it all. The world seems to be ending when we start this movie, and Chuck is getting thanked for all of his years on Earth. And nobody can figure out, who is this guy? Who is Chuck? And why is everybody thanking him? And why is the world ending? And what does this look like? Like it shows you the internet goes down. There's no connection. There's things like that. And they just have to kind of learn and survive in that while the world is crumbling around them. So, but they learn to find the beauty in it. And as we go through that, we learn who Chuck is sort of backwards. The acts are done backwards. So by the time you get to the end of the movie, you're sort of at the beginning of the journey we saw throughout. So I did enjoy this movie. Mike Flanagan can make a movie look good. It's compelling in its nature of an existential type of sentimental movie. Is very compelling in that way. I didn't love the short story that Stephen King wrote back in the day. Not that I think it was bad. It's just, you read a non-Stephen King horror story, especially when you're younger. It's, not much younger, but like, especially when you're a little younger, you're like, I want the horror. Give me the horror, not the life of Chuck. But I did like it. Again, Mike Flanagan, all the actors in this movie did a fantastic job. His wife is in it. She plays a really good role as one of the teachers. As well. I think Kate is her name. I cannot remember for the life of me. My apologies. But she's been in all of his work. She was the main character in Hush, which I thought was a great film. She played the deaf woman in Hush, and she did a great job in that. And in Midnight Mass, she was fantastic as well. So to see like sort of Mike Flanagan's stock company in this, telling this beautiful story of like this man through his life and like how he became who he is and why people love him the way they do. So I think that you should check this movie out, maybe when it comes out on rental. I don't know that this is a rush to the theater sort of thing. If you do love visuals in films, like really good cinematography, really good visual effects, the whole 9 yards, it might be worth going to see this in theaters. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful film with a lot of fantastical art to it. So if you check that out, I think and that's something you're into, I think that would be where you excel with this one. But it is a feel-good movie, kind of like Interstate 60 or The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, stuff like that. It's more on that level, but it is worth checking out. Paul, did you get a chance to see this one?
Yeah, I sure did. I actually did enjoy this short story by him because I got a soft spot for this one and Hearts in Atlantis, especially that one. And just like you said, I kind of compared this to a mixture of Hearts in Atlantis and Secret Life of Walter Mitty. So in my opinion, if you liked either of those or both of those, I think, like you said, you'll enjoy it. I don't think you absolutely would have to run to theater to see it. The visuals are great. It's different, but I mean, I got a soft spot for Tom Middleton too. So I absolutely enjoyed this. And my rating's right there with you, right there at a 3. I thought it was a solid one. Stephen King is always interesting when he does things that aren't horror. I mean, his wheelhouse is horror always. But yeah, I mean, you got stuff like, The Green Mile and then Hearts in Atlantis. He knows he's a great writer,
Oh yeah, and he's a talented guy. I've read his non-horror. For me, when I was younger, a little more brash, it was like I want the horror. I didn't want like the all the sentimental stuff. But it is a good story, and this is a good movie. And I think that is, I'm definitely will watch this again. I think my kids should see it. You know, not that it's like anything it's short on story. Let's be real. It is a short on story type of film and filled with sentimentalism. But so is Field of Dreams, you know, if you think about it, like stuff like that. And it's worth the watch. So like, this is a movie where, like you said, Hiddleston does great. You know, he's not in it a lot, but when he is in it, he lands. And there's a good reason, because Jacob Tremblay is the one who's mostly in it. And that kid does a great job. He smashed out of the park. He can really hold the movie together. So I thought he did a really good job in it as Chuck as well. So that's our review. Anything else you want to add to the movie, about the movie?
No, because I mean, I just don't want to give anything away, and I don't want to.
No, yeah, definitely don't.
Right, so it's kind of hard. So it's like, check it. I think definitely check it out, you guys, because it kind of flew under the radar, and I get Neon sometimes tends to let us all down, but I think they did a solid job on this at least. So if anything, give Neon another chance too.
I don't know that this was Neon not letting us down. I think this was more personally, Mike Flanagan doesn't really let anyone down. So like, no matter where he took this movie, he would have been successful, because Mike Flanagan is one of those directors who I think kind of flies under the radar because he's more of a horror themed, especially tied so closely to Stephen King and like what he's doing and such. Like, he's very influenced by him, of course. So I think like when you get to that point, he was gonna make this movie, and it was gonna be good, in my opinion. And this was, I don't know if he had anything to do with the other Stephen King film that's coming out this year, The Long Walk, which that's a brutal book.
It's a rough book.
That is a rough book. That's why when I saw that, because I always knew they would make that eventually into a movie. I knew somebody would make that and I'm going back like 40 years. Like, I remember reading that book, not 40, but maybe 30 years, like, because I was a teenager when I read that book. And it messed with me a little bit. And I remember reading that, and it just, like, I was like, I don't know that I could handle this movie. Because, like, again, it was the 90s. So, like, the 90s right there it's going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there was pretty brutal stuff then. And then afterwards, I was just like, I don't know that you could make this movie. It's too dark. Because, like, we got out of that, like, we went to PC sort of phase for a while where like you don't hurt kids or anything like that. And not that it didn't happen, but it was sort of becoming a staple. And then we grew out of that, and now it's like back to who cares about anybody. But so The Long Walk shows up, but that's the second Stephen King movie coming out this year with Mark Hamill in it.
I'm excited for that one too, though. It looks really good. I've been trying to convince a lot of people that don't like horror, that love the Hunger Games. I'm like, it's Hunger Games, just a little edgier and messed up and awful, and yes,
it is not Hunger Games, everybody. It's not.
It's just like it.
A lot worse. It's a lot worse. Let's be real. But thank you for watching this review. I'm not gonna let Paul trick you into
family movie.
Watching this movie under the guise of like,
it's similar ish.
It's more similar to Battle Royale. Calm down. Like, calm down. Like, don't throw out Hunger Games like it's
potato, carrot, whatever.
They don't get weapons in this one. No, it's yeah, and the book is like crazier. So let me know what you guys think if you check it out. But thanks for watching our review. And now we're gonna go on to Nonnas, which was a Netflix film that I really had no desire, not that there wasn't interest, but no desire to watch. I thought it was going to be a sentimental movie. I squirted a few tears during this journey, not for the reasons you might think. It's very nostalgic trip for me. I'm not Italian, but I grew up around a lot of Italian families. Some of the Nonnas in this movie reminded me of them when I was younger, and like how it was important. Community was important. Everybody sort of banded together. you know, in the city and stuff like that. And like the grandmothers were always very important. My grandmother was always very important to me. And, you know, she was friends with the Nonnas in the neighborhood. We were Irish, so it was Nana. You know, I had a Nana and I had a grandma. So like that's what it really came down to. But this movie tells the tale of Vince Vaughn's character, and it's a true story, which I thought was interesting. He loses his mother recently, who he took care of, and his grandmother is Nona, and his mother were just his world. You know, he loved them so much, and he cared about them. He's really distraught and heartbroken. And so, like in the inheritance, he takes it and he says, "You know what? I want to give back. I want to give this feeling that my mother, my grandmother, always, or my Nona always gave me." So he buys a restaurant, and he comes up with not so much a gimmick as it is his way of like sort of connecting to food and things like that. And he hires friends of his mother and his grandmother, and some new ones, but familiar faces, new Nonnas come in. So it's all like these Nonnas come in and create the menu. A lot of hard times come about with it, getting this restaurant started, especially with how things are going. But overall, this movie is sentimental. It has a nice story. The acting is a lot of fun. It was very cool to see like Lorraine Bracco's in the movie, Susan Sarandon's in the movie, Talia Shire's in the movie, and like really celebrate these older women who have been in the industry for so long, and letting them sort of like shine quite a bit in this movie. And I really had a good time. Like it reminded me of spending time with my grandmothers. So like I was feeling very, I don't want to say emotional, but like I was feeling very like sentimental and nostalgic with watching this movie. There were things I was laughing at in it that are so like Staten Island. You know, like I'm from Jersey City. It's not that far. And then I grew up in Carteret, which is like right across the bridge from Staten Island. You could throw a rock to Staten Island, but you know, and I'm not saying I'm from there or anything, but I know the people, and I know what it's like growing up in that element. So watching this was one where like they would do little things here and there, like him and Joe Manganiello is in the movie, plays his best friend, and like just their dynamic and how they're talking to each other in the movie, and like the best friendship reminded me of me and my best friend and stuff like that. So like it was, I even like was saying things to my kids and my wife as we're watching it, and my Jersey accent started flying out a little bit. So it was very nice to watch this and have that sentimental feel again. So got a 3 out of 5 for me. And that is why, because it is a good movie with a good story. And if you're good with sentimental type of movies with good acting, this one I think is for you. I'm not going to say it's overly perfect, but it's definitely worth a watch, especially if you understand, you know, or you want some nostalgic feel to like your grandmother's. But yeah, I really did. I enjoyed this one. But what about you, Paul? You saw this one too.
I absolutely enjoyed it. We were just looking for something that weekend just to kind of throw on. We're like, oh, we love Vince Vaughn. Let's just watch this. You know, no premise, didn't watch the trailer. I wasn't ready for it. Look, whenever it has to deal with grandmas, I'm already sentimental and emotional as shit. So they did a great job with this. My family also is not Italian, but it still reminded me of my grandmother and, you know, other friends' grandmothers. I thought this was beautifully done. It was great seeing these actresses again. You know, it made me want to go back and watch not all their movies, but as many as I could. You know, just being like, oh yeah, like wow, look, like she can still act. They're still fun. I thought they told the story very beautifully. I thought it was very well done. I thought the pacing was solid for it being, you know, more of a a drama, because a lot of times themes like this, they kind of get a little too lopsidasical, and then you kind of lose it, or you're like, man, can we get to the point? And they keep it going with the laughs or random turns. I thought they did a really good job. It's probably my top 10 favorite performances by Vince Vaughn, at least.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Yeah, and I mean, he did such a good job in it. Gripe wise, anything about this movie that I didn't like, it more comes from there was pacing issues at certain times where it seemed to go off and take a turn. And like I don't really want to give too much away. I want people to check this out. Like that's why I don't like to spoil too much. Like if it's movies sort of flying under the radar. But it takes certain turns where I'm like, this is late in the movie. I didn't expect this. Not that it's bad, but it seems oddly placed.
Right.
And I feel like more and more movies are doing that and experimenting. So I don't like blame the movie and how it's written. It just felt like, okay, we just got over something. Now we're going into something new, and we're getting towards the end, and we still need to like kind of clarify some things, or like fix some or resolve some things, I guess I should say. But yeah, so overall, like, again, so well told story. Again, overly sentimental. This is another one that's more sentiment than it is story, but it is a good story. I really did like it. So, and everybody was good performances all around. So I did enjoy it. All right, and what's your rating for this?
I put it right there again. 3 out of 5.
It's
right
so
there.
odd. It's so odd to have a 3 out of 5s for me, right in a row. So, and we're both agreeing. So it's even more odd. I don't know what's wrong with you.
We did the same thing last week for the most part, almost.
But we're getting into the last one. I don't think we're going to do it for this one. Predator, Killer of Killers, the new Predator film that came out from Dan Trachtenberg and Joshua Wassop, I believe his name is. And it is an animated version of the Predator stories. This is sort of, I would say it expands more on the lore that we see in Predator 2. Which is, the Predators are there on Earth, sort of, it's like a trial period for them, to hunt hunters or kill killers for this sake. So they kind of expand on that a little bit. And in the Predators movie, when they go to the planet, they sort of expand on that as well. So it was a good movie. It's sort of an anthology piece, tells 3 different stories that do all converge at the end, and sort of seems like it's building towards a sequel, which I wouldn't mind. And that's the thing. Like, I went into this, like, I was like, a new Predator movie. I did like Prey. I thought they did a really good job with that, but I felt like this one was just a little too rushed, and I didn't know much about it going in. So hearing, looking a little bit more into it, I was like, all right, let me check it out. And then I found out it was animated. So I found out it was animated. I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. I love the puppetry and the suit and everything, and like all the special effects and practical effects that go into Predator. But I was like, let me try it. Let me see what it's all about. And I had a lot of fun with it. It was a good movie. It's very brutal. It is a hard R. It is a Predator movie. But they expand on a lot. They show a lot more, in terms of the Predator. Again, these 3 warrior stories. One takes place in Viking times. It's an older woman in a Viking tribe. The second one is feudal Japan, and it's a samurai who's taken on the Predator. And in the third one, it is a mechanic in World War II who got in a plane to fight and beat a Predator. So all of these tales are about what happens when you beat a Predator and who you become. So it's the Killer of Killers. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was good. I don't know that I want another anthology if they follow this up, because they open it up to connection to the past. And I'm not quite a bit, actually. There's some Easter eggs in there that if you blink, you will miss it. One, I will point out, the pistol that Torres is holding in the movie, if you watch this, and again, I maintain this is more Easter egg than spoiler. That pistol is very important in one of the other movies. That's what I'll tell you, so you can go back and watch it. If you want to know what it is and you want to go and find it, then let me know. But I think the investigation of that is always most of the fun. Again, really fun movie. This is very rare. 3 movies that I'm reviewing today all got 3s. I usually don't even really get to 3s that much. And if I do, they're like way better than that. So 3 movies, 3 out of 5. They're all solid. Solid choices. Go check them out. If I had to tell you which order to go see everything in, maybe Life of Chuck, Predator, and then Nonnas. But 2 are streaming right now on Hulu and Netflix. Go check that out. The other one's out in theaters. Go check that out as well. But thank you for watching. Did you watch Killer of Killers?
I sure did.
I'm so sorry, my friend.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
It is Paul's turn. For some reason, I had it in my head that you didn't watch it. So please tell me what you think about the movie. I'd love to hear it.
This is actually probably my sorry, that was Thunder and Lightning. This is my third favorite Predator movie out of all of them.
What are the first two? I mean, the first one's Predator.
Yeah, the first one's gonna be Predator, then Predator 7, the one with Keegan.
I don't. Oh, the Predator.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Have you seen 2 in a long time?
It's been a minute.
I would go back and look at 2. I bet you it'll go higher on your list. I don't know where it would land, but I think it'll go higher on your list.
But this is solid number 3. This to me, see, I've been getting a little more into animated a little bit, so I really enjoyed it. To me, this is like it was 3 poems of death in a fun way, in a Predator way. The kill scenes are insane. It's more than just a game of cat and mouse. And even though that's what I love about Predator, just kind of the chase, trying to find them or outrun them and this and that, this one had a little like more to do. And when it's animated, it's boundless. They can create more, they can do more, they can visually show you a lot more. And I do enjoy that more with animated movies, especially when it's more of an action side. So I really actually enjoyed this one. And I'd probably put it right there at a 3 with you. But I did enjoy how they go back. We get to figure out more about the Predators and things like that because they've hinted at things. They've shown us some things through all the movies or even Alien vs. Predator. But it's kind of nice formally getting more of a backstory.
Yeah. I like that. I like that they were kind of adding because part of me was like, and again, trying not to give anything away because I want people to check it out. But part of me was like when you get to that final part of the story, because I thought it was just going to be an anthology all the way through. And then when you get to that last quarter of the movie, it's tying it together and what this is. It was so interesting to me, sort of, it made me question things that happen in the other movies. Like did the Predator purposely try to kill Dutch so he wouldn't have that same fate we see in this movie? Because I have to assume like it was sort of a not just an initiation, but like if a Predator does get killed in a battle, where does that look like afterward? Where does this go? Does everyone go that way? And like why is it all different times? So it opened up the lore of Predator to an interesting way that I'm stoked for. So I'm into it. But
yeah,
thank you. That was our review of Killer of Killers from the new Predator movie. I hope you go and enjoy it. It's out on Hulu. Thank you for watching. Now, guys, we don't normally do this, but we got a sponsor on the show, and I have to start doing reads now. So I hope you guys are very okay with this, because our new sponsor, and not even our buddy here knows about it. It's Shenanigans Strip Club in Schenectady, New York. Come on down, ladies and gentlemen, because we got the best show around with the best food on it. And if you don't feel like coming down to see these lovely ladies shake their stuff for you, make sure you join Uber Eats, because we're on Grubhub, Uber Eats, and everything else. You want tasty wings? I'm sure they have them, I guess. I don't have the menu in front of me. But head on down to 2169 Central Avenue in Schenectady, New York, and you can go down and chow down on some wings and see some other things. Thank you, Shenanigans, for sponsoring the show.
That is awesome. Wow. Yes. I want a Shenanigans shirt now. I need to get a shirt
to make shenanigans. It's time to get into some shenanigans. That's going to be our new shirt. It's time for some shenanigans.
And I want to try those wings now, too.
I've been to Shenanigans, and all I got was this shirt. I've been to Shenanigans, and the only lap dance I got was this shirt. It makes no sense, but I don't care. It's fun. So
that's fair.
Listen, we got a fun topic tonight, though. I got.
I just loved it on Uber Eats. Like how Good job. Good business model. I respect the shit out of that. No one around here does that. None of the clubs around here are on Uber Eats or DoorDash.
You
I'm
gotta
on it
drop
all
it
the time.
down. You gotta drop it down
I like it.
hardcore. And Uber Eats is where to do it.
Do their own employees deliver it? Because that'd be even better if they just had it just for their own stuff.
How messed up would that be? Is if their employees had to become Uber Eats drivers because nobody was going to it just becomes a food delivery service at this sexy food delivery. Oh, shenanigans and Schenectady. But I want to say hi to everybody that's joining us. Jay, what's going on? Thanks for joining in. We appreciate you. Brian Durham is here. How's it going? How you doing? Radar's here.
Radar.
I think Brian wants to get to Schenectady right away.
Yeah, he wants the wings. Yeah, just the
Gotta
wings.
love the wings. The wings are where it's at. That's for sure. Again, not even sure if they have them, but I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume that they have the wings because it's shenanigans, and you can't get into any good shenanigans without wings.
It's all thighs, no wings.
Oh my god! Could you imagine going to a strip club? Just some dive. And listen, I've bounced for many years. I've seen some dives, but going into a dive like bar strip club in Schenectady, New York. And I have all the love for Schenectady. I do. It's a beautiful town. But you go in there and you're like, hey, can I get a 12-piece wings? And they're just like, sorry, we just got drumsticks. Like, it's not even the same thing. What?
We had that problem. You remember that? Where there was a shortage on drumsticks. You could only get flats for a while. So we had that whole shortage for a while.
I didn't. Listen.
It was a problem.
Listen. Fuck this government for screwing with and like not just this administration, because I'm sure that was like another administration. So stop messing with our chickens, all right? I will tell you, there is a chicken pen, a chicken coop. I'm sorry, chicken coop. I guess you gotta call it. I'm not a farmer. Doesn't mean I don't respect them. I do actually. I always, whenever I see farmers, and you can ask Casey this because he grew up on a farm, I ask a million questions because I'm interested. I'm genuinely interested in like what happens. So like whenever I like meet a farmer, I'm like, I have questions, and it's just like really benign questions. Like, well, like when you're dealing with the goats, like like stuff like that. Like it's just, and I get more excited, and you can attest to this because you've been with me on this. I get more excited when when I see somebody who has a job that excites me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about like, I'll ask plumbers and electricians, like stuff. I'll be like, have you ever seen this? And if this, like, and I get so excited to ask them questions. But when I see a celebrity, I could give a shit. I don't even care. Like, it's like, great. It was great meeting you. It's great seeing you. You're really nice, really, and we have a great time stuff. But like, I would still be asking. I would still be asking the questions from all the people at Shenanigans before we go to the celebrities. So get your wings down at Shenanigans, Uber Eats. Now on Uber Eats. It's the worst read of all time. Before we get into our main but yeah, screw the government for messing with our chickens. But anyway, let me go back to my chicken coop story. I went off on a tangent, but bear with me. There's a family, it's the house, it's in my neighborhood. They got chickens, right? And to get their eggs and stuff like that. Nothing wrong with that. And they have this giant rooster. It is gorgeous. It's white rooster with the big curly tail and like the red and like just like this rooster looks like you would see it on like a TV show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, when you're driving past, I always go down this road because I know the chicken coop's going to be there and I like to see the chickens. I like animals, so I don't mind seeing the chickens. Canadian geese, they're a problem. Respect them. They're a problem. Been attacked by them before. So every time we pass by, I don't care who's in the car with me, I will see that rooster. I will see that rooster on its hind, well, of course, its hind legs. It only has 2 legs, but standing tall above everybody else. This tall ass rooster.
Yeah.
I know you can tell what's going to happen here. And I'm not, and this isn't bullshit. I do it every time. Kids in the car, wife in the car, friends in the car, whatever. I don't care. I drive past, I look over and I go, that's a giant cock.
Yup, sure did.
Is that funny? I don't care.
Yes, it's funny.
Is me saying it every time annoying? Maybe.
No.
And do I regret it in any way, shape, or form? Absolutely not.
Nope.
But here's the thing. I don't put on performances. I just entertain. There's other people who can put on performances. It's the worst segue.
So go to Shenanigans.
Let's go to Shenanigans. You want a great performance? Head on down to Shenanigans in Schenectady, New York. Where the girls are hot and the wings are They should hire me. All right, our main topic is great performances in bad movies. It's also our top 5. But before we get into our top 5, which is going to be the actors we really want to get to. So, Paul, like, there's a lot of bad movies out there. Arguably, some of your most favorite movies are terrible movies.
Fair.
No, but like, there are arguably like some really bad movies, but there are some that turn out, some performances that completely blow you away. You know, like, do you think, let's start here. Do you think that certain actors, good actors, can make a movie better just if their performance is the only good thing about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what are you basing that on, though? Because I don't disagree, but I don't know that I agree yet either. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'll use one of my examples, right? So one of my top ones, right?
No,
so I got to use something.
Use an honorable mention. I got one for you.
Okay,
I got one for you. If I'll throw an example out, and then like we can go from there. How's that? Okay. So for me, a really great performance and arguably a bad movie is Alan Rickman in Prince of Thieves. I like Prince of Thieves. It is a guilty pleasure. It is not a great movie. It's basically A Knight's Tale, but they didn't quite get it right. They sort of got it right. Like, there's a lot that's messy about that movie. But Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham, that's an amazing performance. I think he enhances that movie. He gives that movie the credibility. So like one like that, like, would you say that would that be like sort of a representation of what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Or the one I finally thought of was Nicolas Cage and Left Behind.
Ugh.
It's boring as shit.
Ugh.
Bad premise. Worst book. But Nicolas Cage makes it enjoyable, so I probably do watch that at least once a year. It's good performance, and I think he makes the movie better as opposed to what's his name? That was in other ones.
Oh my God, Kirk Cameron.
Thank you. That one. Yeah, him. God bless, man. No, sir.
I remember when the Left Behind Kirk Cameron movies came out, and I didn't know he was crazy. The internet was still young back in the day, Paul. So I didn't know like he was like hardcore Christian. Like I saw him one time. This is where I learned it. So I hadn't seen him since Growing Pains, and I loved Growing Pains growing up. And I loved all sitcoms because I was a latchkey kid. But I came home and watching. No, I went to the video store and I saw his picture on the Left Behind box, right? Okay. And that's how I learned what Left Behind was. I didn't know it was Christian. It's a super Christian book. It's all about the rapture. super Christian book. And whatever, to each their own. I don't mind certain Christian. Some are wild, but some are good. I like the sports Christian movies the best. I feel like those are my wheelhouse, and I love gospel films. I don't care what anybody says. I worked on gospel films. I love gospel films. Again, not always the best. Well, that's I used to be a bigger fan of Tyler Perry. I don't think
I was going to say this. Yeah.
His movies are as good as they used to be. They used to be more poignant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now those are movies where the acting is generally terrible. Like his movies and his TV shows, the acting are generally terrible, but he tells good stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get behind a good story. I'm like that's the thing. Like if the movie's got a good story and it's got a great performance, but the rest are terrible, I'm in. And I have a list here. Don't worry. And I think some of them are going to piss you off, but
I know some are going to piss you off. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I love gospel movies. Certain ones, of course. And well, my old boss when I worked out there, that's what he made. He made gospel films.
Okay.
So getting used to working in them and like being part of it and being part of the world and such for even a small part. Kind of like it was just something like it's the same with theater. Like when I got into theater, now I'm really into the theater. So like I'll always sort of have my mind toward in those things because I've been able to like connect with them in certain times. So. But there are bad ones. There's some bad movies, of course. So going back to Christian movies in the Left Behind series, saw his face. I was like, oh, cool. Kirk Cameron's doing movies again. I thought he'd retired by this point. No, and little did I know, like, dude was super Christian. And like late one night around the same time I saw the Left Behind movies, right? And I promise you, this is going to pay off to the Nick Cage talk. So late one night, this is how I found out that Kirk Cameron was like super Christian. I was flipping through the channel. Now, I was a conservative Christian growing up, Catholic, hardcore, went to Catholic school, the whole nine. Like I was there at pro-life, everything, so I understand. And like there were some channels I would watch and stuff. So I would put on Christian channels and stuff like that at times. But like, I wasn't Christian in the sense of like what I'm about to tell you about Kirk Cameron. I was Christian, but I had my beliefs. I didn't like inflict them on anybody else. But I turned on the channel and I feel like this might have been one of my real awakenings. And I'm watching Kirk Cameron on the street, live on the street with a microphone in his hand, going up to random people and just be like, do you masturbate? You're a sinner. You're going to go to hell. And like, he would then run to the next person. He's like, do you ever think about your neighbor's wife? And I'm just like, and like, he's just asking all these ludicrous, like not even like pointed like, hey, have you ever cheated on your wife? Or have you ever cheated on your husband? Not any of these questions of like, hey, do you have like sexual thoughts about other people outside of your marriage and such? Like straight up accusing them, then walking away from them as if they did it. And like and as the longer you watched them, the harder it would go. And I started getting more and more creeped out. I'm like, oh, this is an awakening. I feel like a lot of people need to watch that these days.
I want to watch that now.
And he did it a lot. Like, cause he was, I guess they had a show kind of like what we do here, but on television and like with a lot more backing than Shenanigans in Schenectady, New York. But so they did a talk show like that, and he would like come on and like sit at the desk and talk about Christian values and stuff. And like he was basically the celebrity voice of Billy Graham or whoever else he follows. Fast forward. I forget where I was, but I saw Left Behind was being remade, and I'm like, that's an ultra Christian. Because after that, I dove a little deeper into it because I'm like, is he this crazy, really? And he is. So, but crazy like a fox, because I don't want to get sued. But like, he's not crazy. He's just super into. I can't not say it. It's just crazy. It's just wildly crazy. I'm sorry. But anyway, get back to Nick Cage, because I realize I'm going on a tangent here. But so back to Nick Cage. I saw they were making that movie with Nick Cage, who's one of my favorite actors. I got shook for a second because I'm like, is he crazy? Oh. Which I know Nicolas Cage is crazy. But I'm like, is he the guy that's like, am I going to find out that Kirk Cameron, or not Kirk Cameron, that Nick Cage goes on like Christian based channels and like screams at people about them being sinners? Like, am I going to find this out? I was upset. I was upset at the time because I really did like Nick Cage. And then I found out that he did those movies because he did like everything he could to make his money back. So I was like, okay, thank you. So needless to say, I'm with you on that.
That'd be more fun to watch Nicolas Cage doing that though on street. Do you masturbate, sinner, and just walking the fuck off after that?
All right. So Nicolas Cage craziness. There's not a movie that goes by that he doesn't do something crazy in.
Mm-hmm.
There's no movie you can mention where it isn't some, even like The Family, like there's something crazy. He's a great actor. I love Nicolas Cage. I think he's one of the best actors around. I'd punch myself in the nuts to interview Nick Cage, as long as like we could have a real discussion, like, because he's a big movie fan and stuff, like, and I want to talk to him about his process and stuff. None of that scandalous shit or anything like that, but I'm not interested. But I would punch myself in the nuts to talk to him. And like, there's no one else I'd say that about. And not because he's a celebrity, because his choices in acting are so wild and so off the wall. I need to clarify some things. Like, how do you go from here to here to here? Because when I was watching National Treasure, I watched it the other day with my son. He loves those movies, and I love them too. I think they're great. But I'm watching the first one, and of course, Nick Cage is in it, and I'm like, he was the most normal in this. I don't think he had any crazy. And then there was a point where it was either the first or the second one. He and the woman he's with, who goes on to be the love interest. I can't remember the actor's name at the moment, but she's like, all right, we got to time to put on a show, and they're supposed to fight. And he just starts stomping around and throwing a tantrum like, rah, rah, rah. And then like sliding down the pole at Buckingham, or sliding down the banister at Buckingham Palace and like screaming. Yep. I'm like, they said put on a show, fight or something, cause a distraction. And this dude heard go full Kirk Cameron.
Yeah.
So I'm getting off that one though, because that was a very long story for me to tell, but I came back full circle and I appreciate myself for it.
You always come back. I like it.
I always come back. That's the one thing. I'll always come back. They might suck. You might hate it, but I'll always come back. Don't worry about that.
Not like my birth family. I appreciate you, Mick.
Oh my God. Listen. Oh my God. you know when like somebody says something and you know they're making a joke, but it's like trauma.
Right. Yeah.
And like, I know you know this, so I can say it to you. And like, for anybody who doesn't understand this, and it's not a man thing, because I know plenty of women who can do it too. I know non-binary people who can do it. Like, it does not matter how you identify. People know how to do this. And and that is, when you're a trauma kid and somebody says something or makes a joke about their trauma, and you care about that person, it's very, you have to care about the person who's saying it. Your first reaction, being also a trauma kid, is always to say something even worse than what they just said. It's always and like, you think of it and you're like, oh, I'm live on the air though. And it wasn't like worse that it was a better joke. It was like worse that it was like, oh, that's fucked up. They never came back and was like, because your dad's Kirk Cameron. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Damn, that would suck. That'd be the worst ever.
Oh my God.
All my money.
If Kirk Cameron was your dad, that'd be amazing. How would you know? I would tell you to go full in. I'd be like, own it.
Like Righteous Gemstone style, just all the way in.
You better be Jesse Gemstone.
I don't have a choice.
You
It
need
only
that
be
hair.
Jesse.
You need those muttons. You need it all. You need that dress. He carries a little man purse around. That's 100%. That show is perfect. That show is perfect. Me, if I find that out, I'm becoming Baby Billy.
Hell yeah.
I'm just coming over all the time, and I'm just gonna look at Kirk and be like, "Come on, Kirk, give me $2 million and an 8-ball
For a small investment. I got to pay my scientists. I got to pay the back. God, that is such a fun
He was
show.
so good in it. That whole show is just fantastic. But again, like we talk about great performances. That's a great one. But like, so we were talking about movies though, and like how bad ones, if they have good acting in them, just work. There are plenty that aren't either. So what do you think? Like for you, like what are performances like? How do performances stand out in bad movies? So like when I watch, this is a bad movie, but it's worth it because like Christopher Lee was so good in it. The Howling 2.
Okay.
Christopher Lee is in that movie, and he does a good job, but none of the movie makes sense. But I've watched that movie multiple times. So do you think it's the acting that pulls that in? Do you think it's the craziness? Does it make a difference?
It's a mixture of both, I'm sure. It probably depends on the individual. Like, but I do think sometimes the acting is what brings you back in, because there are plenty of movies with the list coming up that aren't good at all, but I like it because I like the actors' performances, or it was actually super good, or they dove into the craziness and they're so bad. I'm like, that's a great performance because it's entertaining. So I still come back to it.
Is so to think about that too, like, with all these great like performances and like bad movies and stuff, like, do you think that's something that may enhance? I'm trying to ask this question the right way. So like, if you have a really bad performance, but it's a good movie, it's a good story, you're enjoying it, you like everybody that's involved. U-Ball. Let's think about U-Ball movies. Yui Ball. He did like In the Name of the King, Blood Rain, all of those. Like he had a lot of House of the Dead. But if you go on for a little bit, there's some fantastic actors. Ben Kingsley's like in almost all of his movies and such, So for movies like that, which are clearly bad and do get the stories wrong, especially of beloved video games and stuff like that, why do you think the actors keep coming back? Do you think it's just they respect the pay? Is it the paycheck? Like what? Like, and I just want like your opinion on it. Like, not, you don't have to know for facts or anything.
I'd like to think it's due to the fans. In my naive mind, I hope it's because they're like, oh, well, I did the first one, or I just did the one before this. I want to keep it going, because that's my part. That's my character that I created. I want to keep it going. Probably what it honestly is probably more of a paycheck. Their agent probably is like, hey, you got this gig. Okay, cool. Where am I flying to? Boom. But
I guess the location probably helps.
Right. But like I said, my naive mind, I'd like to think it's more of them just taking ownership of the character they created or their interpretation of it. So if they're, they just want to keep it going. But like I said, that's in my own naive mind.
Okay, so has there been like a time that you can remember where you maybe were watching like a trailer for a movie or something popped up about a movie where you were like, you knew right from the minute you saw it, you're like, this is gonna be terrible, but then you were like, why is he in it? That's an Academy Award level actor. One I can think of is Jack and Jill. I'm like, first of all, after Ridiculous 6, I'll never believe that Adam Sandler, as a comedic filmmaker, has it anymore. I just don't think his style of comedy works in today's world.
Okay.
It still has a place. Don't get me wrong, and people can enjoy it, but I don't think it works in today's world like the hits that were in the
right.
Like Happy Gilmore 2 is not going to be anywhere as good as the first one. It's not. It's just going to be a nostalgic runoff. In that trailer, And I will give it a fair shake. I'm going to go into it, and I am hoping it is good. That's the thing. Like, I may have a preconceived notion. I've been doing this a while, and so like, watching these movies and like kind of picking up on them, like, I can see the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2 and know, like, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be another Hubie Halloween, which I might like, but I can identify it as bad because it is a bad movie. It's just because
it's a staple.
This is forever
Halloween. It's a staple.
The forever argument I will always have with movie fans like you, and not just you. There's so many like you. It's you have to objectively like. All right,
I just love that movie though.
You can love it, but you have to. You can't argue that it is. It is a dumb movie, but there's a reason we love dumb movies.
True.
Like, even taking Adam Sandler, you take Hubie Halloween. Mm-hmm. Now, what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time? Mine's The Wedding Singer.
Ooh, my favorite Adam Sandler. Ooh, that's so. He's done so. Honestly, it's probably Little Nicky.
Don't tell me, because I want to. Now, when we do Happy Gilmore 2, maybe I'll do an Adam Sandler top 5, so you can save it. But I'm going to take one, and let's just say, looking at the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2, mm-hmm. Does it have the look, feel, vibe, or feeling that it is anything like the first one? Other than the characters are like continuations. I'm talking about, like, when you watch the trailer for Happy Gilmore, you're like, oh shit, it's Happy Gilmore. Like, it still looks super funny. I think there's something to the grittiness and the low budgetness of it. But when I watched that second one, I wanted it to. I was watching this, like, I was waiting for that trailer. I was like, I really want this to be good. And I watched it, and I'm like, I don't think this is going to be good. And I hope it is, and I hope it changes my mind, and you'll see my review when it comes out. But, like,
it won't be.
After Ridiculous 6, there's, like, as a dramatic actor, even like a comedic dramatic actor, because, like, was it Hustle? He had a bit of comedic flair to it, but it was a drama role. He did great. He's a great dramatic actor. He can act his ass off. I don't want to take anything away from him. And he can direct, and he's good, but I don't know if he has the touch on comedy anymore. Like, I feel like Ben Stiller sort of, when he got into directing, sort of evolved well into comedy. And his style of comedy still works. Like, he evolved it to what people are attracted to in terms of comedy. I don't get that from Adam Sandler when he does a comedy movie. And I think that's why, like, you get a Hubie Halloween, who, in my opinion, is one of his better comedy movies of the last 10 years or so. But that's saying something. That's my point. that's it's no Ridiculous 6, I suppose. God, that movie was so bad on every facet. Every facet. That movie.
I want his mug. I want the bike. The movie was so good.
You liked Ridiculous 6?
No. I'm talking about Hubie Halloween still. Not
okay. I get that. That Hubie Halloween to me was okay. Nobody get mad at me. No, even better, because I just watched a documentary. Hubie Halloween is on the level of like a Big Top Pee-wee.
Okay. Yep. There you go.
It's not a great movie, especially comparatively to the first one. It's not a great movie, but it's warm. It's fun. It's nice. You like it. There's something to it that appeals to us. And the horror especially, I think, really does. And I wouldn't mind him doing more comedies like that. But yeah, I promise you we were going to get back to the great performances and such. But actually, we'll just go to our top 5. I feel like we've exhausted enough about Adam Sandler, and I don't want to trash him anymore, so I feel bad. I don't know if you know who's on my list or not, but
I don't, not yet. I can't wait,
top
though.
5 countdown, great performers and bad movies. That's my theme song for this. 100%. Let's rock and roll, troll. Who you got for number 5?
Number 5, I went with the movie Lovely Bones, and that is Stanley Tucci. Or Tucci.
Tucci. Stanley Tucci?
There you go.
The bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad movie. He's so good though. You're right, dude.
Right.
Holy shit. Everything he's in is so good. And he's so chilling in that movie. That's a good choice.
He's unsettling in that movie. That movie made me feel uncomfortable. And I was like, this
Yeah.
is just a movie, Paul. It's just a movie. But I was like, oh.
Nope.
No.
That movie is what that not that movie, but like movies like it are what kept me out of pedophiles' trucks as a kid. I was like, you seem creepy. I'm gonna go this way now. Sorry, Black Phone, you ain't getting me. I've seen. I know my first name is Steven. Anybody who understands that deep cut, welcome to the scene, Snobs.
You're in the right place.
My number 5 is the man on the picture, Raul Julia from Street Fighter. Raul Julia also played Gomez Addams in the Addams Family movies. He was an amazing actor. He was truly fantastic. Kiss of Spider-Woman. If you don't know Raul Julia, he died unfortunately right after he made this movie. Street Fighter. Right after he made Street Fighter, he died of cancer. So, rest in peace, man, because he was such a fantastic actor. He has a really good movie where he played a Catholic priest at the Vatican who was smuggling Jewish people into the Vatican to get them away from, it depends on who you ask. Some people will say the Pope had like instructed him to do it, but I don't know if that's true or not. But like he was the priest that was doing it during World War II, and they made a really good movie about it. And he did it. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong movie. That was Gregory Peck. His movie where he plays a Catholic priest was about the missionary priest for Catholicism, and I know for a top 5, you guys don't give a shit about this, but in I think it was Argentina, and he gets assassinated in it. It's a really compelling story. I'm sorry I got those two mixed up. They are fantastic movies. On next episode, I'll find out the names of them for you. But Raul Julia was just a truly great actor. And he made that Bison was cool in that movie. He made that movie cool. So yeah, that was my number 5. Number 4. Who's your number 4, sir?
Suicide Squad, because I didn't really care for that movie, and I went with Margot Robbie.
Yeah, she was good in it. That first movie was. I liked the second one. I liked it. A lot of people, I think, give it a little more shine than it deserves, but I do like it. That's a good choice. She did good in that role for sure. Although I would say her, like if I was to pick her role, I think Birds of Prey was worse.
Oh
and
yeah,
she was still good in it. So like that's where I think I would probably pick that one out personally, because that movie just was so bad. But my number 4, controversial, Phil Hartman in Jingle All the Way.
nice.
I think Jingle All the Way, again, like we talk about Hubie Halloween stuff, it's a fun Christmas movie, whatever. Kids like it and stuff. I get it. I think it's cheesy. It's not one of my staples I need to watch every year. I care less, but Phil Hartman in that movie is on point. He's perfect. He adds a perfect heel to Schwarzenegger's babyface. I just think his performance in that just like slaps. It's perfect. Yeah, that's right. I'm using slaps now. I'm going with it. I'm gonna deal with that, and you're gonna deal with it with me. You know who else slaps? My dad. No, it's. I promise you, I'm just having fun tonight. Friday. All right. Number 3.
It's gonna be the Hilary Swank, the next Karate Kid, and it's gonna be Pat. Oh, I just forgot his last name.
Pat Morita.
Yep, Pat Morita in that one, because I couldn't stand the one with Hilary Swank. Nah.
Yeah, he does. That third one and that fourth one were tough, but he did a great job in those movies. Like he knew the character. And that guy, I mean, he was nominated for Mr. Miyagi in the first one for Academy Award. That drunken scene where he's talking about his family, brilliant acting. Brilliant acting. Of course, it's no collision course. Another deep cut for you out there. Again, if you know that one, we can be friends. Number 3 on my list is Angela Bassett in Vampire in Brooklyn.
Ooh,
I love it. It's a dumb movie, Wes Craven movie, Eddie Murphy, tons of other actors. worth a watch. I think personally, good horror comedy, and a good horror comedy for me, and I think true horror heads will really appreciate it. But Angela Bassett delivers like a great performance in it. Like, that woman can't give a bad performance. Like she's always just like on point. So I love her in that movie. But yeah, that's my number 3. All right, what's your number 2?
It's going to be The Devil's Advocate. I went with Al Pacino.
I hardline disagree with you. Hardline disagree with you. I
think it's a good movie?
Advocate is so good.
Damn.
I love that movie. I've been thinking about watching that movie for like 2 months, and I've seen it a dozen times. Like I will watch it again. I think that, I mean, it's out there, but as like a horror type thriller, suspense thriller, I think it's so good. Oh my God. And his speech at the end.
Oh. It's Al Pacino. Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Keanu is good in it when he's like, I don't lose. I never lose. And he's like lost everything. He lost his wife. It's like, dude, you just gave up everything. It's such a good movie. I love The Devil's Advocate. No, it's fine. It's your choice. I would argue against that as a bad movie, but I get where you're coming from. But yes, Al Joyce, he does give a great performance in that movie. All right, what was it? Where were we at? Number 2? Oh, so I'm on number 2.
Yep.
Florence Pugh in Black Widow. I thought she held that movie together. She did great. And even with Thunderbolts, like I think Thunderbolts had a great cast. Mm-hmm. And I think Black Widow had great actors in its cast. There's a difference. I did, the performance of like David Harbour as the Red Guardian, because it kind of, talking about Thunderbolts and Black Widow, I would have come to expect. It's nothing amazing. It's not blowing me out of the water. It's just fun. He's funny. It's not a perfectly remembered character like a Hopper is, in my opinion, but like he does a good job in it. But like, and Florence Pugh though, she carries that Black Widow movie, and then like, Rachel Weisz is good, Ray Winstone, and of course Scarlett Johansson, who I like and everything, but it wasn't a good movie. And it didn't feel like they were in it. You know what I mean? But Florence Pugh, man, she just had me cracking up through the whole thing. So she gets my vote on that one. So that's my number 2. My number 1's going to be controversial. You're going to hate it.
You're going to hate both of mine too.
You have 2 number 1s?
I got 2 number 1s.
Hey, listen, it's a rare occurrence, but it happens. What you got for me?
Okay, so the first one for number 1 is going to be The Beach. And I said Leonardo DiCaprio.
See, I would argue against that. I like the movie. I didn't think he was great in it. I thought he did a good job. Yeah. I just didn't think he was great in it. So like it's reversed. It's not that. Yeah. I think.
And then you knew I had to bring it up. It's going to be The Stupids. I get it's a bad movie, but I love Tom Arnold in it. Great performance. I believe he's Stanley Stupid. 100%.
I laughed at one joke in that entire movie, and it was the most obvious joke. You know what pisses me off is like I laughed at it hard in that movie too, and I laughed at nothing else in that movie. Nothing. I was so mad to have to watch that. That was one of the movies because it was that, and then something else you chose. We had to watch. That's what made Casey quit. He was like, "No, I'm out. I'm done." He's like, "I don't want to watch these bad movies anymore." I was like, "Oh shit!" But The Stupids. When he's got to chase them and he looks at the bike, or no, was it he looks at the car? No, he looks at the bike and he goes, 2 wheels, 4 wheels. 4 wheels are better than 2. And you think he's going to take the car, but he takes rollerblades because it has 8 wheels.
Yes, sir.
That's the only thing that made me laugh that entire movie. So but you called it a stupid movie, and I appreciate that because I know that was hard for you. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate your number 1s. My number 1 is I don't know how anybody who listens to this show for more than like a year doesn't know this, but it's Taylor Swift in the movie Cats. She was the best part about that movie.
I didn't even think about that.
I'm not trying to Dave Portnoy this or anything. I'm not 5'5", so I don't try to worry about all that stuff. But like, I'm not super in love with Taylor Swift. I joke about it and stuff, but like her singing was good in it. The scene was like majestic. It was fun. So like in an arguably terrible movie where all of the actors who I like in the movie are bad, she pulled off a really good Cat and Cats. So that's my list. Oh,
I should have gone musical. Could have said like Jeff Goldblum and fucking Wicked. Boom.
You just hate Wicked. I didn't think
I do.
I personally don't think he was bad. I just didn't.
No, he was good in it. That's what I'm saying. He was a good actor.
Oh wait, no, yeah, you hate
movie.
Wicked. That's what. Bad movie. Yeah, I'll tell you what. That sequel to it, though, I was like, I'm kind of like, this back half doesn't seem great.
The first half wasn't great. Like, train.
That's fair.
No,
I dug it though. I thought I liked the first part. You hated it so much, but I'm not gonna take anything away from you because I'm not like emotionally invested into Wicked. You know what I mean?
That's for you, Matt. I still hate Wicked. Worst movie you ever gave me as a friend.
Matt is a lovely gentleman that we know whom every week, like clockwork, watches Wicked on Sundays at 6 p.m. I don't know why. It's just become sort of a tradition. And he masturbates. So it's been like a wild ride the whole time. So that's our top 5, though. Thank you guys for joining in.
Not James Cameron. What's his name? He's going to call you a sinner.
My favorite part of that is it said I put that on the top 5. So not only is that on the podcast, it's going to be in the top 5 clip. So everyone knows Matt masturbates to Wicked once a week at 6 p.m. on Sundays.
That's how the friendship ended.
How would you feel if somebody said that to you? If somebody divulged a piece of information that's not an overly wild piece of information. If somebody was like, "Yeah, no, I can't. I'm masturbating." That's weird to hear, but I guess thanks for telling me you're doing something. You know,
I'd say same. That's why I'm calling you.
Yeah, that's why we do this at 8 and not 7. Paul's got some work to do. But I don't know, man. Like Matt, like it might be a little much to do that to Ariana Grande every week. Or is it Jeff Goldblum? Let's vote. Next episode, let's figure it out.
I like that. I like that a lot.
He's gonna hate us. Hey, there he is. Johnny Loves Movies. There he is. What's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining in. I got to hang out with him yesterday on Horror with Sir Sturdy. Excuse me. The Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast, and it was a lot of fun. We talked not Abby. We're talking Abby some point. We talked about Sugar Hill, black exploitation zombie film. So what's going on? The booger booty is magical. I get it. I'll tell you where it's magical. If you want to go see some booty that's magical, you go down to Schenectady, New York, and check out Shenanigans. That's right, everybody. They got the wings and they got the talent, and we're here for it. Thank you, Schenectady and the town, for allowing such a great establishment like Shenanigans to be involved. We love you, Shenanigans. Go get the wings now on Uber Eats.
Now welcoming class of 2025.
If you have to go in, though, you have to go in and use promo code Snobs. You have to walk up to the doorman and say, I want the lap dance, promo code Snobs. If you don't use the hand gesture, so for everybody who's listening on the podcast right now, you're kind of lost. If you don't use the hand gesture, you're never going to get to use the promo code. So just don't tell them we sent you. Say the word Snobs.
Yeah, no conversation outside of that. Just walk up to him and be like, Snobs.
Promo code Snobs. Like, what does it mean? And it is not good on Uber Eats. You can't use that promo on Uber Eats until they let us. But get on down to Shenanigans in Schenectady, New York on 2169 Central Avenue. We love you, Shenanigans. Oh, it's the best. Oh, they do have wings. Boneless chicken wings. I clicked on
That's awesome.
I clicked on the website as we were going. It was like one of the first things. It's a strip club. It has to have wings.
A website. That's wild.
Oh, it has to have wings. What is one feature before we get to mixed movie pick? What is one feature of a strip club that, like, if you go, it has to have it? And I don't want to hear like hot women or anything like that. We know what the staples are of a great strip club. I want the thing that really stands out to you.
That they have to have Pepsi on tap instead of Coke. I've only seen Coke in those establishments, never Pepsi.
I would go one further. I'd say Royal Cola. Was it Royal Crown Cola? No, that was the stuff that was in the bars back in the day, man. Like they would buy the RC stuff.
That's what's up.
Yeah, bullshit. And if they have RC at a bar, which is far and few between now, like that doesn't happen anymore. But if you're ever at a bar or a restaurant or something and they have RC Cola, they damn well have birch beer, and you better get the birch beer because it's going to be good.
So good.
It is so good. But I would say that a respectable strip club, in my opinion, that I'd want to go into has to have very clear rules and stipulations for the merchants wearing mesh shorts.
Yeah, I like it.
Another deep cut, but yeah, that's that's get on down the shenanigans, get your wings and more. Your wings and more. That's what it's all about. So, all right, I'm having fun, but
Are they tossed in sauce?
we're always tossing sauce. Tossing the garlic parmesan, the hot, the whole time. This is mixed movie picks for tonight.
One looks like Mission Impossible.
One maybe. Both of these are from 1978 and 2015. That's right. And they're both our classic film reviews of the week. The Wiz from 1978, because we are celebrating Juneteenth here on the channel. So we're celebrating black cinema, especially black exploitation films and other great black cinema films in the past. You can see it on Does It Suck and Classic Film Review all week. And we're finishing out this month. We're doing classic film reviews of all of the Mission Impossibles leading up to a review of The Final Reckoning, the new movie coming out. So you can go check all those out. There'll be a playlist over on our YouTube. But yeah, we have The Wiz out now. You can go check that out. Full classic film review where we give background to it and everything. And of course, Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation from 2015 is the one we're celebrating. And those are our mixed movie picks for the week. I want to thank you guys for joining in. I want to thank you to our sponsors, Shenanigans in Schenectady, New York. Make sure you go down, check out the wings now on Uber Eats. I want to say thank you guys so much for being a part of it, hanging out, having a good old time, wiping your nose, wiping your chin, thinking about getting in that car and heading on down to Shenanigans to roast some s'mores.
11 hours and 47 minutes. Door to door.
Looked it up. 11 hours, 47 minutes away. There you go. But thank you guys again so much. Paul, you got anything you want to add before we take off, my friend?
Yeah, you guys, summer's upon us. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure if you work outside, hydrate the night before. Heat stroke is no joke. Cramps are no joke. Waking up with them sucks. It's happened to me once or twice because I wasn't taking care of myself. Be careful outside. Be loving to each other because it's still a crazy world. And we got to all do our part for each other. Keep watching movies. Keep loving movies. And enjoying the magic in them.
I love it. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with us, having a good old time. We really appreciate it. If you're watching the show or watching any of these clips over on our YouTube, please subscribe. We're trying to build it out, really build out this channel with a lot of really fun, great shows that are movie-centric or just show the love of pop culture and stuff that we really enjoy. So we would love for you to be a part of that. Of course, we're going to have a lot of our Carolina Fear Fest material coming out soon, so make sure you're following them and you're checking that out as well. We're editing and putting things through now, so we'll be on top of that so you can see more coming. Thank you guys again. Our Patreon members, thank you for all of your support, being there for us. It's free to join, but any of the paid tiers, those are members that just want to support and help the channel keep going, because all that money goes back in to help and pay for the stuff that we need to do this and kind of keep it going. None of us are millionaires here. I wish at this point, but maybe shenanigans will help us get there. But you guys are the ones, you're the lifeblood over on Patreon, supporting us, keeping this going, allowing us to do this and just have such a great time. Not just the podcast, but the shows, the classic film review, Does It Suck? War Factor Fiction, all these other stuff. We have tons of stuff going on. So it really comes, not to sound cheesy, but to quote one of my favorite channels of all time from PBS, it really happens because of viewers like you. So thank you guys so much. And if you're listening to the podcast, thank you. Please rate and review us. That is a huge help to us. It really helps us get noticed. It helps us get a name out there. Even if maybe you're watching it and it's not your favorite thing, please give us a constructive criticism, like things that you like about show stuff. Leave a review. I don't ever ask anybody to give me a 5 and give me a glowing review. Give me an honest review. I'd love to hear it, but I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you following. I appreciate you being a part of it and hanging out with us. Until next time, everybody, I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. That's my man, Paul, down there, the producer extraordinaire. Next Friday the 13th, starting at midnight. That's right, Thursday night at midnight. We are going to start over on the Sir Sturdy podcast, Sir Sturdy channel, Sturdovision. We are going to be watching every Friday the 13th movie. They will be playing in his Discord. You can watch along over on there. You can watch along at home. But we're going to be live the entire time, talking about the movie, having a good time, watching everything, all 12 movies in the Friday the 13th franchise. So please join us. Have a good time with that. And we're going to have some very special announcements and other things going on as well. But everybody, I've talked enough. I just want to say, I want to thank my good buddy Kirk Cameron for being here tonight. In the spirit, because we appreciate it. And I want to thank Nick Cage for everything he does. And I want to thank lots of you out there, all of you, for watching, listening, loving. Remember to stay snobby, stay I fucked that up big time. Stay snobby, stay cinematic, and just take care of yourselves, because that's important, and be kind to others. Until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan. That's Paul, and we will talk to you all soon.